Have you ever had one of those mornings where you sit on the edge of the bed and think, why does everything feel harder than it used to? Maybe your knees complain a little more when you stand up, or you forget why you walked into the kitchen. You're not alone. Aging is a part of life. But giving up your independence? That doesn't have to be. Let's get real for a second. Nobody wants to rely on others for every little thing. You want to live in your own home, make your own decisions, go for walks, cook meals, and enjoy life without constantly asking for help. And the truth is, your independence isn't just about staying physically strong. It's about your mind, your habits, and your daily choices. You don't need to be a marathon runner or a memory champion to stay independent. But you do need to make intentional choices, simple habits that help you hold on to your freedom. And the best part? These habits aren't complicated, expensive, or out of reach. You can start them today, right now, no matter where you are in your journey. So let's dive into it. I want to walk you through 5 powerful habits that, after the age of 65, can make the biggest difference in whether or not you stay independent as the years go on. These habits are rooted in real experience, practical advice, and they work. Let's start with one that might surprise you. The first habit is moving with intention every single day. Now, I know, you've probably heard "stay active" 1,000 times. But this isn't about forcing yourself to do exercises you hate or dragging yourself to a gym full of mirrors and loud music. It's about intentional movement. The kind that fits into your life, your routine, and your personality. Think of it like this. Every time you choose to move, whether it's walking to the mailbox, doing gentle stretches in the morning, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, you're sending a message to your body. Hey, we're not done yet. Movement keeps your joints limber, your muscles awake, and your balance sharp. It's not about how fast or far you go. It's about keeping things working. I once knew a woman named Carol, 73 years old, who swore by her daily 20-minute walk and talk routine. Every morning, she'd call a friend or listen to an audiobook while walking around her block. Rain or shine. She said it wasn't just about her legs. It kept her mind clear and her spirits up. And you know what? She was sharper, more mobile, and more independent than many people a decade younger. If your body's aching or your energy's low, don't push yourself into pain. Start small. March in place during TV commercials. Stretch your arms before getting out of bed. Do a few gentle leg lifts while sitting. Movement isn't about intensity. It's about consistency. Every little bit counts. Now let's talk about the second habit, and this one's just as important, if not more, fueling your body like it matters. Because it does. After 65, your nutritional needs shift, even if your appetite doesn't always follow. And what you put on your plate can either support your independence or slowly take it away. We often think of food as something to keep us full, but at this stage in life, it needs to keep us functional. That means eating in a way that supports your bones, your muscles, your brain, and your energy levels. Let's talk protein for a second. After 65, your body doesn't use protein as efficiently as it used to. That means if you're not eating enough, you're losing muscle, without even realizing it. And once that muscle goes, things like getting up from a chair or carrying groceries suddenly become a struggle. It doesn't mean you have to eat steak at every meal. A simple egg at breakfast, a handful of nuts, beans in your soup, or a little Greek yogurt during the day can make a world of difference. Protein helps you hold on to strength, maintain balance, and recover faster if you ever do fall ill or get injured. And while we're on the topic of food, let's not forget about hydration. Dehydration is sneaky. As you get older, your sense of thirst dulls. You may not even feel thirsty, but your body still needs water. Low hydration can lead to dizziness, confusion, even falls. I always suggest having a water bottle nearby and sipping regularly, even if you're not thirsty. Herbal teas and water-rich foods like cucumbers and melons can help, too. Let me tell you about my neighbor Bill. He's 78 and still gardens, builds furniture, and takes care of his own house. I asked him his secret, and he said, "I eat like I'm fueling a machine I love." That stuck with me. It's not about dieting or rules. It's about loving your body enough to give it what it needs to keep doing what you love. And let's not forget those little things that add up: excess sugar, salty processed foods, or skipping meals altogether. You'd be amazed how many people feel tired, foggy, or moody just because their nutrition is off. If your meals are mostly beige, bread, pasta, crackers, it's time to add some color. Think greens, berries, oranges, beans. Nature has a way of providing what we need, if we let it. When you pair intentional movement with proper fuel, you're already 2 steps ahead in the game. You're building a foundation that makes everything else, balance, memory, energy, easier to maintain. Now, let's ease into the next piece of this puzzle, because movement and nutrition are just the beginning. There's another daily habit, often overlooked, that quietly protects your independence more than most people realize, and that's staying socially connected. Now, I know this one might not seem like it belongs in a conversation about independence. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a real, meaningful conversation with someone who truly made you feel seen? Someone who made you laugh, or just listened without rushing you? You see, loneliness is more than just a sad feeling. It's a silent health risk, especially after 65. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be just as harmful to your health as smoking or obesity. It affects your brain, your immune system, and yes, even your physical strength. The less connected we feel, the more we tend to pull back from the world. And once that happens, independence starts to quietly slip away. But here's the good news. Staying connected doesn't mean you have to be the life of the party or have a packed social calendar. It's about meaningful connection. Even one good conversation a day can make a huge difference. Maybe it's calling a sibling, chatting with a neighbor, or joining a small group that shares your interests. And if your social circle has gotten smaller over the years, that's okay. Life changes. People move, loved ones pass on, and routines shift. But that doesn't mean it's too late to build new bonds. There are community centers, senior walking groups, library events, even online communities for people over 60 who want to connect with others going through the same stage of life. Let me tell you about James. He's 82, and a couple years ago, he told me he was starting to feel invisible. His wife had passed, and his kids lived in other states. He'd stopped going out as much, and the silence in his house was starting to wear on him. One day, he signed up for a local gardening club, not because he loved plants, but because he just wanted to be around people again. Fast forward a few months, and now he's the guy who brings tomatoes to everyone's doorstep. That one decision didn't just brighten his days, it brought structure, laughter, and confidence back into his life. Don't underestimate how powerful social connection is. It keeps your brain sharp, your spirit lifted, and your motivation strong. And all of those things matter when it comes to staying independent. When you feel connected, you're far more likely to keep up with your health, stay active, and engage with life. Let's move into the fourth habit now, which ties closely into the one we just talked about. It's something we often ignore because it seems less urgent, but it affects everything, and that's training your mind like you train your body. A lot of people think memory loss and confusion are just a normal part of aging, but that's not the full story. Your brain, like your muscles, thrives when it's challenged and used regularly. If you don't keep it active, it can slow down. But the great news is, there are simple, enjoyable ways to keep it sharp, and doing so helps you stay in control of your life. Think of your brain like a garden. If you water it regularly and pull the weeds, it grows strong. But if you neglect it, it starts to fade. So what does watering your brain look like? It could be learning something new, reading books, doing puzzles, playing a musical instrument, even trying new recipes or routes when you go out walking. Anything that challenges your brain to think in new ways will keep it sharp and flexible. And let's not forget conversation. Talking with others isn't just social, it's mental exercise. Listening, responding, sharing ideas. It all helps your brain stay alert. That's why combining this habit with social connection makes it even more powerful. There was a woman I met once at a senior center who learned how to play chess at 76. She said she wasn't good at it when she started. She actually laughed at how many games she lost, but she stuck with it. Within a year, her memory had improved, her mood was better, and she had a new group of friends she played with every week. All because she challenged her brain to do something new. The trick is not to get overwhelmed. You don't need to sign up for a college course, unless you want to, of course. Just pick one thing that sparks a bit of curiosity. something that gets you thinking, paying attention, or solving problems. Even something as simple as switching the hand you use for brushing your teeth can help build new neural pathways. Little changes can lead to big results over time. And here's something most people don't talk about. When you stay mentally sharp, you're more likely to recognize when something's off in your body or environment. You notice warning signs earlier. You make better decisions. That kind of awareness is a major part of protecting your independence. These daily mental workouts don't need to feel like chores. In fact, they should feel enjoyable, playful even. Your brain is hungry for stimulation. It just needs a little invitation to get started. So now we've talked about movement, nutrition, connection, and mental strength. Each one plays a different role, but together, they form this foundation for a life where you're in control. Not the calendar, not your age, not your aches and pains. There's one more habit I want to share with you. It's often the one that gets forgotten, but in many ways, it's the glue that holds the others together. And that's the habit of protecting your emotional well-being. I want you to take a moment and really think about how you've been feeling. Not just physically, but emotionally. Do you feel calm most days? Do you still laugh out loud sometimes? Do you wake up with a sense of purpose, or at least curiosity for the day ahead? Because here's the truth, emotional health isn't just about feeling happy. It's about resilience. It's the quiet strength that helps you bounce back from setbacks, deal with change, and keep moving forward even when life gets tough. And the older we get, the more important that kind of strength becomes. After 65, life throws a lot at you. Retirement, health scares, loss of loved ones, shifting roles in the family. It can feel like you're losing little pieces of your identity. That can chip away at your confidence and independence if you're not careful. But if you build emotional habits that keep your spirit grounded, you create a kind of inner anchor that helps you stay in control, no matter what comes your way. So what does that actually look like? For some people, it's having a morning routine that creates peace. Maybe it's journaling, drinking tea while watching the sunrise, or listening to your favorite music. For others, it's learning to set boundaries with people who drain their energy. Just because you're older doesn't mean you owe anyone your time or peace of mind. And one of the most powerful habits, letting go of resentment. Holding on to past hurts, regrets, or disappointments can weigh you down more than any physical burden. It takes a toll on your heart, your mind, even your body. When you release that emotional baggage, even just a little, you make space for joy, for growth, for presence. There was a man I met during a workshop a few years ago. His name was Albert, 79 years old, and he had spent most of his life angry at his brother. They hadn't spoken in over 20 years. One day, Albert decided to let go, not because his brother apologized, but because he wanted peace. He said, "I realized I didn't want to carry that weight into my 80s. That moment changed him. He smiled more, walked taller, reconnected with his family. His whole energy shifted. It was like he got a part of himself back." Emotional strength gives you that kind of power. It doesn't mean you're always cheerful or that nothing bothers you. It means you know how to care for your inner world the same way you care for your body or your home. That kind of care makes you resilient. And resilience is key to staying independent. Another underrated emotional habit is practicing gratitude every single day. I know, it might sound a little cliché, but gratitude isn't just about being polite or saying thank you. It's a mental practice that literally rewires your brain to focus on what's working in your life, instead of what's missing. And when you focus on what's working, you're more motivated to take action, more optimistic about the future, and more likely to stay active and involved. Even on tough days, there's something to notice. A warm cup of coffee, a bird outside your window, the fact that you woke up today and still have the chance to make it yours. That's powerful. And it fuels your spirit. So if we zoom out for a second and look at everything we've talked about, you've got intentional movement, which keeps your body functioning and your confidence strong. You've got nutrient-rich eating, which fuels your strength and helps you bounce back faster. You've got social connection, which protects your heart and gives your life meaning. You've got mental stimulation, which keeps your mind sharp and your decisions clear. And finally, you've got emotional well-being, the foundation that keeps you grounded, present, and in control. Each of these habits is simple, But when practiced consistently, they create a powerful safety net. One that supports your independence in ways most people don't even realize until it's gone. You don't need to be perfect at all 5. Just start where you are. Pick one habit and begin with something small. A 10-minute walk, a phone call to someone you've lost touch with, a healthy snack swap, a new book to read, or even just a moment of silence in the morning to breathe and check in with yourself. Remember, this isn't about fighting aging. Aging is natural. But how you age, that's where your power lies. You get to decide if the years ahead feel like slow decline or new opportunity. And believe me, there is so much still ahead of you. Your independence is a gift. One that deserves to be protected, nurtured, and fought for. Not out of fear, but out of love for the life you still have to live. So if this video inspired you even a little, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What habit are you going to start with today? Or is there something you already do that's helped you stay strong and independent? Share it, because someone else might really need to hear it. And if you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more ways to stay healthy, happy, and empowered as you age. You've got more strength, more wisdom, and more life ahead than you may even realize. Keep showing up for yourself, because you deserve to live fully, freely, and on your own terms. Here's to living your best life, at any age.